Welcome. We are exploring the steps for Vedic mathematics referencer. In the previous session, we were reaching at the applied values format of volume 7. Volume 7 is devoted to the mathematical domain of Ganita Sutra 7 and Ganita Upsutra 7. Value 7 in itself is a reservoir of many features. 7 takes us to 7th step for a reach from first step, value 1. So value 1 to 7. Value 1 to 7 is having 6 gaps. So this discrete set range of 7 values though gives us a reach up till this point on a line. However, there are jumps, and because of this jumping over these gaps, the continuity is certainly not achievable. Now, if we have the gaps also covered, and that way, if we are having 7 plus 6 is equal to 13 steps, then this reach up till this 7th step in fact is going to be a reach of 13 steps. And the modern mathematics, when is held up that there is increase of hypercircles up till 7, and from 8 onwards there is going to be decrease, and it is not becoming possible for the present axioms to reach it as to why it is happening, then the answer for that is that we are having a jump, we are not covering these gaps, and this is happening because of that. Simultaneously, when we say that there is everywhere continuous function, that means in fact we are having a 13 steps in mind, and while we say that it is not derivable anywhere, then we'll say that there is going to be only the consideration of the discrete points, and the gaps are not considered. And it is here because of it that we know that a raised to power n is to 2n, b raised to power n as a domain boundary ratio. For a cube, it comes to be a raised to power 3 is to 6, b raised to power 2. So the derivative of a raised to power 3 is only 3 b raised to power 1. 3. Now, it is this derivative and it is this boundary which is going to be a matter of concerns, matter of consideration. When we have the continuity, then the reach is at this ratio. When we are only at discrete points and we want to derive, it is only up till this. This is what is to be taken into account while we will be having an appreciation of the applied values format of Vedic mathematics. We have seen that we have to start with core of the earth, and we have to reach up till the orb of the sun. Orb is like eye and core is like a space. Those who are acquainted with number value formats of 26 letters of English alphabet, then we know the core will lead us to value 3 plus 15 plus 18 plus 5. Now you see, it is this reach for a core and this reach for 19, 16, 1, 3 and 5 for space will indicate how their space and how the eye as the orb is taking us to 15, 18 and 2, eye is taking to 5, 25 and 5. It is of the format of the second Ganita Sutra, and I, this is the value 35, and 35 value we know is 5 into 7 orb, and it is for double digit numbers of 6 plus value system. 6 is the number of a Surya, a sun. So it is this sun and it is this eye of the sun where we want to reach. Anyway, we have to know here in this context, we have to reach with the help of a sathapatya measuring rod. Sathapatya measuring rod is a synthetic setup of hypercube 1 space body, hypercube 2, hypercube 3, hypercube 4, hypercube 5 and hypercube 6. We know they are of the domain boundary ratio a raised to power n2 and b raised to power n minus 1. So, as a step 1, while a chase upon the applied values format of Vedic mathematics means from the core of earth, the space which is here, and we know it is a 4 space. 4 space plays the role of an origin of a 3 space. Earth has a 3 space content with having 4 space as its origin, and reach is going to be up till 6 space, sun, and origin of sun is 7 space. So this format, this coordination is to be worked. The applied values format as such comes to be a coordination line of core of an earth and orb of a sun. So it is in fact from origin to origin, it is a reach from 4 to 7, 4 space to 7 space. Therefore, it is in fact a reach from a 3 space body hypercube 3 to a 6 space body. So 3 space body to 6 space body is the reach in terms of this coordination format. Now see, let us have a pause. Today is a Janmashtami. Blessings for each one of us. Janmashtami is the birth day of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is the overlord of 6 space, means of a Surya. Lord Krishna as a formulation is of value 19, which is the value of a Dhruv pole star, means the origin of a sun. Lord Krishna is incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu is the formulation of value 25. See, Surya is of value 13, and we know value 13 will have 12 gaps and it will make a continuous range of value 25. And 13 is the value of the 13 versions of hypercube 6. These all are the features which are interconnected and will come into play. But we know that Lord Krishna is the Lord as human frame, within a human frame as Purusha, is of 125 years lifespan. Lord Krishna as Purusha, as a living phenomenon within human frame, is a 125 years phenomenon. See, if we start with Earth and sequentially reach up till Panchmabhut, then at Surya, then at its center Dhruv, which is the incarnation, which is the base is of a Vishnu. These 8 formulations, Prithvi of TC value 25, Apa of value 8, Agni of value 14, Vayu of value 13, Akasha of value 8, Surya of value 13, Dhruv of value 25, and Vishnu of value 25 lead us to summation value 125. We can have a pause here and permit the transcending mind to be parallel with this reach of the Vedic systems. The Vedic systems reach in terms of the Vedic mathematics of Ganita Sutras is a reach in terms of the TCV values of the letters being availed for the composition of the word formulations which are being chased in terms of the values and geometric formats parallel to the organization of the Ganita Sutras. Ganita Sutras to Vedic, to Devanagari alphabet, to TCV values, to geometric formats, then word formulations giving us to TCV values, and this as a sequential range becomes a chase along the coordination line up as an applied format. So we can say that the applied format is the format of the features of a sathapatya miring rod. Sathapatya miring rod is a synthetic setup of representative regular bodies of 1 to 6 space as fourfold manifestation layers within creators of space, which is the core of the earth. At core of the earth being a creator's space, so all the light, prakash, which will be flowing through orb of the sun, means from the seventh space, from the pole star seat, along the black matter. Pole star will give a flow of a black matter. Upon it, from orb of the sun, there will be an overriding flow of the light. So light as a reach along with the black matter and being fulfilled at core of the earth and flow back is the format, and it is with the chase of this format we will have chase of the applied values of the existence phenomenon of our solar universe within frames and even without frames. This Sthapatya miring rod format is the format, means from core of the earth to orb of the sun, from 4 space to 7 space. 4 space as origin fold, so it is the 4th fold, and 7th fold sequentially will take us to this 4 to 7. So the applied values format becomes of a trimonad format. It is of a reach from 1 to 4, then to 7, and then it is to reach to a 10. So students of Vedic mathematics interested in the applied values have to follow this trimonad format, 1 to 4, 4 to 7, and then say 7 to 10. It would mean that we will be having a reach of the 10 steps. These 10 10 steps reach is in fact the reach of the 10 place value system of its 9 numerals and as well as the placement value. This chase is Om, it is Paranava, third is Om, fourth is Omkar, fifth is Udgit, sixth is Vashatkar, seventh is Saptabhumi, eighth is Ashtaprakirti, ninth is Navbrahm, and the 10th is Parbrahm. It is this Parbrahm which is of TC value 35. It is the orb of the sun. We have to reach at Om, which is of TC value 16. It is parallel to 2 raised to power 4, which is a dimensional frame of a 4 space. So it is the core of the earth. So core of the earth will be having a placement of the Bindu Sarovar. This structured point will be having a structures of 4 space of 2 raised to power 4 phenomenon, and from this there will be a flow of 7 streams. It is a reach parallel to the structural setup at the orb of the sun. So from core of the earth to orb of the sun is the phenomenon which is to be chased to be parallel with the existence phenomenon of our solar universe. It is this feature which takes us to the applied values format, and this applied values format is chased in terms of a sathapatya miring rod, and this sathapatya miring rod is parallel to the shad chakras of human body, from first chakra to the sixth chakra, whose external characteristics are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12. This will help us appreciate that the existence phenomenon within human frame and existence phenomenon of our solar universe run parallel to each other along this coordination format. This coordination format as such can be said to be the format of a sathapatya miring rod, a synthetic setup of hypercubes 1 to 6. And this format is the format along which, when there is a chase from its both ends for the middle, it leads us to the values 2, 8, 18, 32, 50, and at the middle it becomes 350, 700. It becomes the format of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The organization format of 700 shlokas text of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the existence phenomenon within human frame, the existence phenomenon of our solar universe are availing the same coordination format. Therefore, the students of applied values of Vedic mathematics shall initiate themselves with volume 7. Volume 7 as such is to be of dual unfolding process. One will be of the pure values, which will give us a reach from Sutra 1 to Sutra 7, Upsutra 1 to Upsutra 7 simultaneously happening along the integrated format of the text of Gita Sutras and Upsutra. The second fold of volume 7 will be that it will be having a parallel applied values parallel to the pure values. And it is here where we will appreciate that formulation sapt is of TC value 14, which is equal to 7 plus 7, and further 14 is equal to 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, which is hypercube 4, a body format of the core of the earth. Further we know that a raised to power 7 is equal to 14b raised to power 6. So it is going to be the self-referral boundary of 14 components of a 7-space body, a pole star. These features as these are will further help us appreciate that when we compose eka adhikeen eka adhikeen purveen, then the 7th letter and the first letter are 2nd and 5th, 3rd and 4th letters have a values that the 4th letter value 7 and 4th letter is the origin ta, tha, da and dha. So it is the origin fold. So it is the 4th letter which is of a origin seat. It is of a value 7. And this reach of inward transcendence within 6-space domain means the rishi, means the seer will glimpse what? The origin. Means at value 0 reach, but in fact it is of value 7. And this comprehension will be from the both sides. And it is this feature which will further help us appreciate that 6 and 6 will synthesize value 8, and it is going to be the next letter. And finally, ek is of TC value 8, which is equal to TC, and its value is 1. All these features are simultaneously at play. Therefore, the sadhakas fulfilled with the intensity of urge to have proper initiation for the applied values at volume 7, then they shall first focus upon the pure values reach, starting with volume 1, which takes us up till volume 7, and then parallel to it go for the chase of the applied values. The coordination format for the applied values is the coordination format of core of the earth with orb of the sun. This chase is a chase along a sathapatya miring rod, and the chase along sathapatya miring rod is the chase of the shad chakras format of a human body. And it is this format which will take us to the organization format of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And we know that Srimad Bhagavad Gita is organized in 18 chapters with shlokas of this sequence. And the gap values, when we reach at gap values and we have summation of it, it will be precisely equal to 1 more than the total number of letters of the Ganita Sutras. So it will further help us appreciate as to how the Ganita Sutras are started continuously unfolding, fold of it after a fold. These all features are simultaneously available. All these features simultaneously mark their presence. We have to appreciate, we have to comprehend, we have to imbibe these features and with it we can attain the bliss of the reach of the Vedic mathematics, which is certainly of very big range of potentiality, much higher than the potentialities with which the modern mathematics is approaching the mathematics of the existence phenomena. Thank you very much.